Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here with the review for All New Inhumans #1, joining the ranks of Uncanny Inhumans as part of Marvel's all-new, all-different lineup of comics. The story starts out with the grand arrival of Gorgon, Grid, and Flint at the Royal Inhuman vessel, or the RIV for short, looking for Crystal and Nausea to sort of start their task force. You see, the crux of the All New Inhumans is basically that they're a task force assigned to go out and save new humans from being persecuted and killed, as well as putting out political fires started by the whole Terrigen Mist fiasco. Sounds a lot like a certain group that works out of the Gifted Youngsters School. I don't know, their name is at the very top of my head. Much to Gorgon's surprise, however, Crystal isn't at the RIV, but instead at an anti-Inhuman rally in Australia Square. The crux of it is basically that this rally of protesters have captured an Inhuman, but what's actually the most interesting thing about this is that there's someone in the ranks of these protesters who is an Inhuman. He was transformed during the Terrigen Cloud, and it's rather interesting because his exchange with Crystal is basically he hates himself and his new form, and he tried to kill himself multiple times to the point where he's so fed up that now he's just angry at the Inhumans for changing his life. It goes about as well as you expect, with all of his friends turning on him the minute that he shows that he has multicolored skin or textures, or his powers aren't really clarified, he's just really strong. You know, come to think of it, this whole rally reminds me of some other group that was fighting against another group of sort of mutated individuals that were persecuted against. I just can't for the life of me think of their name. At any rate, the group manages to push back the rally and save the Inhuman, but not without receiving some coarse words from Medusa herself, who basically says that they're supposed to be speaking softly and carrying a big stick, but that the group seems to be carrying way too big of a stick. After this, the team actually sets to get down to work and start investigating a series of spires that have been appearing all over the world, which sort of enhance Inhuman powers, but also have some strange dialect written on them, basically saying genocide, which could spell harmful intent towards the human race and sort of slandering the Inhumans even more. Before the group can investigate the spires any further, however, they're alerted to the Terrigen Clouds sort of moving towards the highly militarized dictatorship known as Sin Kong, and the book kind of leaves on a cliffhanger at that. Being as much of a newcomer to Inhumans as I am, I was really surprised by how much I liked this issue. It's got great action and pacing to it, and it's got a nice way of showing us the characters. I really get an idea of just what they're going through right now with this Terrigenesis going around and Black Bolt's kind of messing up of their public image. They got some really cool, interesting moral conflicts. Like I said before, the whole protester rally was really well done with that one guy that was hating himself and how he told Crystal about how he wanted to kill himself. I think my only sort of criticism or negativity would be that it's basically just X-Men. The more I look into it, the more I read, I just see that this is basically just an X-Men team. There's even a backup issue where a mutant, I believe Frenzy, shows up and starts waging war in quotation marks, against the Inhumans. And when she shows up, you just realize there's really nothing distinguishing Inhumans from mutants at this point, at least not to me. Like, they seem pretty much like they're the same archetype right now, and I'm really hoping that All New Inhumans or Uncanny Inhumans or some kind of book really sheds some more light on that, because it's starting to get very frustrating to see that Inhumans are taking a forefront when they're basically just becoming the X-Men at this point. I mean, Gorgon even makes a comparison between him and Xavier, for God's sakes. Despite my own qualms, though, I really did enjoy All New Inhumans #1. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Thanks for listening, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the Hybrid Network for more coverage on the all-new, all-different Marvel lineup as they come out. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.